19th century Preston was little more than a market town. However, industrialisation brought jobs, prosperity and people to the area. Since then, Preston has continued to grow and now boasts some wonderful attractions and unique scenery. Preston has 5 award-winning parks, including Abraham Park and Miller Park. It also has a wonderful dockland area. Preston's central business district boasts numerous big brand shops and attracts shoppers to visit the area from miles around. As well as the high street shops, there are also 2 large shopping centres, Preston Mall and St George's Shopping Centre. Preston also has a very good nightlife, with clubs and pubs such as Lava, Slater's and the Guildhall pub. Preston also has iconic buildings and locations such as the Town Hall, Preston Guildhall, Preston Markets, the Harris Museum and Art Gallery, accompanied with the Harris Library, which have outstanding restaurant and dining areas, as well as exceptional works of art. But what is Preston Guildhall and what's it all about?
My name's Stephanie and I'm the Curator of Decorative Art at the Harris Museum, so I'm not directly involved in the Guild team, who are a separate department in the Preston City Council, but we're all doing our bit towards the Guild at the museum as well. And I'm personally working on a Guild costume exhibition which is called Dressing Up for the Guild, which is going to be opened in August, and that's a display of lots of different items of dress and costume that we have in the museum, including fancy dress and civic robes and trade procession uniform.
Why do we celebrate the Preston Guild?
The Preston Guild has its origins in the medieval times, when there was a group of men that were the Guild and they controlled trade in the town in Preston. So this was quite a common thing that happened throughout England and surrounding, in Europe. But Preston Guild is the only one that has survived, which is quite special. And it's something to be celebrated, really, the long history of the town. And it went from being about these men controlling trade in town to really taking on a life of itself by being known as an event that would happen every 20 years, and this meant that once in a generation the people would come back to Preston to register their right to trade in the town, and their sons would also be added onto those lists when they became men as well. So it was a whole medieval kind of tradition that ended up turning into an event.
What is the Preston Guild related collection?
We have lots of Guild-related collections in the museum, and it spans different collections. So we've got fine art in terms of portraits of Guild mayors, for example. We also have social history collections, which is a mixture of memorabilia, such as medals that were produced for every Guild, tickets for balls and fancy dress balls. What else? Guild trades badges, they're nice, sort of rosette style badges that people would wear in the trades procession to identify what trade they belonged to, what kind of business they were into. And we've got a great selection of photographs as well. We have a lovely photograph collection which documents every 20 years every Guild, so that we have a good wide collection, and including the dress, the costume.
Okay. What is Discover Preston Gallery?
The Discover Preston History Gallery, which is opening in the summer, replaces the old Story of Preston Gallery, which was very popular with people of Preston, but it was a bit tired. So we've been successful in fundraising to the Heritage Lottery Fund, and various other people are supporting us in making a new history gallery. So at the moment, the builders are in, and the people that are building the cases, and we're going to be installing all the objects in there in the run up to the summer. So it's a real good way to investigate the history of Preston and the different people and the stories that come out through the different areas. And one of those stories that we're going to be concentrating on is the Preston Guild as well, so there'll be lots of information there for people to learn about the history of the Guild when they're coming for the Guild in September.
Preston Guild is a unique event that only occurs every 20 years. Aside from the fact that it is unique, is Preston Guild beneficial for Preston's economy and its population? What do residents and business owners in Preston really think? We decided to ask Mary, a resident that's lived in Preston all her life, and Kazimierz Noga, a local business owner.
What do you know about the Preston Guild? Like the Guild 2012?
Nothing about this particular guild this year. I mean, I know about the past guild, but nothing about this one this year.
Could you say anything about this? Could you tell us?
Your experience of it?
Well, I mean, the more or less, you know, it's really, well, I don't know if it's promoting the local people and the local, you know, the lorries and everything that I remember in my past. I mean, I remember when they used to go down to Avon Park and all that sort of thing, you know. It's just a very interesting thing to watch, really. And I have a book actually on the last one. You know, it's just part of the history of Preston. I mean, I've lived in Preston all my life, and it's a very, very interesting place. There's a lot of very interesting places in Preston and people only knew about them.
So, it's like, with that, for example, traffic jams, because it would be busy. Does it trouble you?
Obviously you've lived in Preston all your life.
Yes.
Do you know when the traffic builds up from the event, does that like trouble you or inconvenience you?
It all goes part. I mean, it's only for a short time. Let's face it. It's not a, you know, it's not spaced out every week, 52 weeks a year. Every now and again, you've got to put up with a little inconvenience to have these sort of things.
So, have you ever taken part? No.
Would you ever want to?
Too old now, darling.
No.
I'm 80. I'm too old to bother with all that.
So, in all, you think it's very good and it brings a new dimension.
I come and watch it. Certainly, I come and watch it. You know what goes on, but no.
Like businesses, when 20 years ago, for example, did you notice that they're growing? Or
Well, of course. I mean, businesses 20 years ago, shops were thriving. But I'm afraid, unfortunately, now all over the country, it's not just Preston, shops are closing down and everything else. It's a shame, really. They're doing away with the high streets, which is a big shame. Today now, the country is geared to people, young people with cars. People like myself. I used to, electricity, if I wanted a new cooker for sale, I used to go into the town centre, look at the electricity, go and shop and look around there. Now, I've got to ask somebody to take me out to one of these big shopping centres all outside of the town. I think they've killed the town centres.
do you know anything about the Preston Guild?
Yeah, I know that the Preston Guild has been happening for a long time, and now it is seen as a tradition, and it is held once every 20 years. And as I know that there will be a procession on the street where my business is located.
Do you think the Guild 2012 will have an impact on your business?
Personally, I think it will have any impact on the business because lots of people from different backgrounds and cultures will gather for the event, and this will include a lot of Polish population coming together, and as my business specializes in Polish food, it will attract a lot of new customers.
Do you think it will have an impact on the economic growth of Preston?
In my opinion, it will have an effect on economic growth of businesses because of the people who travel from different locations to celebrate the event. I think in general the travel, accommodation, food places will be affected most as people need something to eat, somewhere to sleep.
Do you think the Preston Guild in the long run should still carry on?
From a businessman point of view, I think that the Preston Guild is beneficial for the economy and for